Clash Royale now has 34 evos, and today I'm going to be helping you find what ones you should be using and what evos you should be ignoring. Okay, so here's our list starting at OP and going all the way down to flop. So first evolution, Archer's evolution. This is a no-brainer. I'm going to put her in OP because just having her be a little bit farther away makes her do 2 times damage, maybe take a spell at a cycle, or completely stop your push. P.E.K.K.A, he was really good on release, but I'm going to put him in mid now because I feel his evolution, like his healing, got nerfed onto the floor so much that, like, yeah, you may need guards and skeletons to now kill him. Valkyrie. I'm going to put Valkyrie. I'm putting her in mid as well. But I just feel her little tornado ability just really isn't good enough compared to other evolutions. She can get distracted too easily, and if you're fighting someone with more than 5 brain cells, she typically does nothing. Knight. I'm going to put Knight, and not that impressive, okay? He's good, and you can still use him. That's why I'm kind of putting him in the middle of the pack. But I just feel like his ability just isn't really anything too insane, if you know what I mean. Electro Dragon. I'm going to put it in solid, okay? Electro Dragon's going in solid for me, just because of how overpowered the Chain Lightning is. And honestly, his health is good enough to where he gets a couple hits before you can deal with him. Wall Breakers evolution, I'm putting in overpowered. They always get value. And it also makes it where if your main spell in your deck is log, arrows, any small spell, you can't fully counter them because you're going to need something else to deal with the little guys. Goblin Giant, I'm going to put him in flop. Goblin Giant is a flop of a card. I'm going to be so for real. I mean, his skeletons are okay, but I mean, I haven't seen Goblin Giant get real value since like the first month he released. Tesla, I'm going to say solid. It's not overpowered, and honestly is really good for just an overall distraction unit. Goblin Drill, flop. Its evolution makes the card worse. I mean, the whole point is the drill tanks for the skeletons, and if the drill is constantly going underground, you can't build up a big skeleton push. Skeleton Barrel, I'm going to put it at overpowered right now. It is just so crazy. I mean, if you want to try to counter it with a log, you have to let the first barrel drop and get damage already. Then you can log it. And it's like the death damage is like 700. You're guaranteed 1,000 damage practically. Evo Firecracker, I'm going to put Evo Firecracker in mid. And here's why I'm going to put her in mid. I feel she's always a King Tower activation, and people throw her in just the most random decks just thinking she'll do good, and it's just it ends up being a flop. She's really squishy and easy to take out, and her attack speed is low, and I mean, we've all seen the clips where she stutters and can't even kill a skeleton. Like, come on. Royal Recruits Evo joins her in mid. I think Royal Recruits are good on their own, but why waste your Evo slot just to give them a dash that you may or may not use? I mean, every time I face Royal Recruits, I can use the same defense to stop normal recruits and Evo recruits. Bats. I'm going to put them in not that impressive. They have their moments, don't get me wrong, and they can be good, but I mean, if I'm dealing with bats, I'm going to zap it before they can get like 3 times their HP. Evo Mortar. Okay, I'm gonna put Mortar in solid. I'm gonna put it in solid because Mortar is very obnoxious, and Evo Mortar, like, I don't think people would play Mortar if Evo Mortar was not in the game. Evo Barbarians, flop. Way too expensive, countered by basically every single splash troop in the entire game. And I mean, just them attacking a little bit faster every time they hit isn't really that much to change my mind. I'm gonna be real. Mega Knight. It hates me to say it, but I'm going to put him in solid. Not overpowered, because I feel he is still very easily counterable, but he can disrupt your deck. And you do need to change how you, like, you can't do the same defense on a normal Mega Knight to that Mega Knight. Unless you're, like, trying to activate King Tower. I mean, there are a couple contingencies. But if your main way of dealing with Mega Knight is, I don't know, P.E.K.K.A, for example, or guards, I mean, you need an extra card now to deal with Mega Knight, which could put you out of cycle. Bomb Revolution, mid. It's hard enough lining up a Magic Archer, but having to line up a bomber that you only get once every 3 times you play the card, especially with the fact that you play basically any splash damage troop, and it's just done. Executioner evolution deserves to go in OP. It is one of the only evolutions right now that gets extra damage. It pushes things back, and you can use it in so many versatile situations. He has a lot of health, and he's hard to take out. RG, flop. 1 ground pound. He was good when he dealt extra damage and when the ground pound may push them a bit farther. But I mean, at this point, like, RG decks don't even have RG evolution. Ice Spirit, I'm going to say solid. It's not as good as it used to be. I know it's what I'm saying with a lot of these Evos, but it's not. But you still do get a ton of stun time for 1 elixir that you could use to get ready to distract whatever the unit is you're freezing. Hunter evolution, I'm gonna say mid. Okay, the net is good, but a lot of times, if you're smart, you're playing your cards outside of range to kill it, or you have one dumb guy he can net while your other guys just go to Pound Town on an entire push. Zap evolution, flop. But I just feel like, yes, okay, there's no downside to using the card if you don't have any other evolution. If you have literally any other evolution in your deck that works, I would say use it over Zap Evolution. I mean, I feel it takes too long to get it, and by the time you have it, I mean, you already have it in cycle for a specific card, that there's really no reason to use it for a different card. Eye Dragon Evolution, flop. Yes, being able to hold its charge is crazy, but it still doesn't really hold its ground against many swarms, and I mean, almost anybody in every deck is holding some sort of Ice Spirit, E-Wiz, Zap. Could stop it. Musketeer Evolution, I'm putting in overpowered. Yes, it's a one-time ability, but it is such a good one-time ability that it makes it so much more worth it. Battle Ram Evolution, flop. I'm gonna be real. It's used in P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam, I get that. You don't need to deal with it differently than a normal batting ram. Goblin Barrel Evolution. You know what? I'm going to put it in solid. I'm putting it in solid because it always gets value, and it's really prominent right now in bait. You have to deal with the other goblins because they will still deal damage. Goblin Cage. I'm going to put you in not that impressive. Goblin Cage is great. I use it in a bait deck personally and it gets a ton of value, especially if you're just cycling it. I mean, it's just a free Hog Rider defense, and then you get another defense out of the tower. Dark Goblin Evolution is overpowered. They made it where if you get 1 to 2 hits with your Dark Goblin, you can take out either an entire swarm or just the entire tank. It causes an instant reaction. If they're holding their log for your Goblin Barrel and they're like saving it and you place this down, they have to deal with it immediately. Lumberjack Evolution, I'm gonna put in not that impressive. He was great when he came out. I mean, he turned Lumberloon Freeze into just Lumber Freeze, but I think them nerfing his ghost by exponential amounts puts him like an entire 2 tiers lower. Wizard Evolution, flop. He gets a one-time shield that people can pop pretty naturally. I would say she's overpowered as of like last month, but this month I'm saying she's solid. They're doing that thing they did with P.E.K.K.A. where they slowly release her and she's busted, and then they slowly over the next couple months just degrade her until she eventually becomes a mid card. Great in bridge spam. She is the most obnoxious card to go against, I'll tell you that. Her skeleton's healing her, like that's crazy. Cannon Evolution, I'm gonna put it in overpowered. The same reason I would put Musketeer in overpowered. Yes, it's a one-time ability, but it is basically the only board wipe in the entire game. With enough skill and technique, I mean, Cannon's great. Evo Skeletons, I'm gonna put you in solid. They're not like too overpowered. It's not like when they first came out, when evolutions were first a thing, where they were like basically your win condition. They provide so much value. If you play them right, they do force cards out of your opponent's hand. Snowball Evolution, I'm gonna put you in mid. I just don't feel like it gets enough value a lot of the time. There's no downside to having it in your deck. It only makes the card better if you don't have any other evolutions. But yeah, here's my list for all the evolutions that you should be using or should not be using. Like and subscribe.